It's interesting to go back to a legacy character's first outing and see how it holds up to current day standards. To see how filmmakers first envisioned a character. To see an actor with no performance to pull from create a character. And to see a movie that built a franchise. Do they always work? In this day and age, we are so quick to pronounce our love for a film or our hatred for it. But how do we know if that loving adrenaline rush can carry over to repeat viewing? Or if our disdain is still justifiable? Well, we have to be willing to give every film a second look. In many ways, The Hunt for October was the 90s Dr.No, introducing audiences to a new spy character and the world he inhabits. And the success of the Jack Ryan film franchise did very much rest on its shoulders. But with a fantastic story and some great performances, it certainly lived up to its predecessor. What works great about the story of Hunt for October is that it twists. At first, the story seems to be Jack attempting to figure out what exactly the Red October is capable of. And this could have worked as a mystery story. But then he finds out the Red October is essentially a phantom ship. And now you think the story is stopping the evil Russian, with the essentially invisible ship and tons of nuclear weapons. But then Jack starts to figure out that Ramius isn't trying to destroy the United States, he's attempting to flee to them. I really enjoy a story that is able to twist so naturally. It keeps you on your toes until the end, because you really don't know if the path you're currently on will stay the same. But a great story is really nothing without great characters. Sean Connery was really at a great point in his career. He just recently played both Indiana Jones' father and won an Oscar for The Untouchables, and I think Hunt for October was the perfect film to follow those up with. Ramius is a really fascinating character. At the beginning of the film, he is playing really well into a 1990s audience, particularly Americans, views of an evil Russian sub-captain.
And once more, we play our dangerous game. A game of chess against our old adversary, the American Navy.
But as the movie goes on, the layers are pulled back, and you find that all that is just really a front. Ramius loved his wife and his country, but he disliked the government. And when his wife passed, he saw no purpose to continue to help the Russian government, and wants to rid himself of this life. The relationship Ramius has with Borden is actually rather sweet, and it's clear that he is the closest friend Ramius has, which is what makes his death work so well. Ramius is cunning and smart, and Connery brings that charm that truly only Connery could. I really love underdog characters, and that is Alec Baldwin's Jack Ryan. He is really smart and knowledgeable, but in a situation in which he feels way over his head.
Next time, Jack, write a goddamn memo.
Throughout the film, Jack is constantly only keeping 1 foot ahead, but it feels like at any moment he can trip and everything will fail. But that is what I love about Jack Ryan in this movie. It's his heart and heroic nature. Throughout the film, he is being challenged by several people about his theory about Ramius. And most people would just give up, but not Jack. He puts himself in the most stressful environments because he stands by his beliefs that much. It would have been so easy to make Jack Ryan out to be James Bond in this movie, just a 100% perfect spy who has everything under control. But they don't, and that's what I love. Jack Ryan has the heart to fight for what he believes in, but also has the knowledge to back up everything he believes. My introduction to Jack Ryan was Patriot Games, so Harrison Ford's films were always how I viewed Jack Ryan, a great spy who's the perfect example of a Boy Scout done right on film. And I also really enjoyed the Amazon series before Hunt for October ever came on my radar. But ever since I've seen this film, it's become my gold standard for this character and his world. Watching this movie for me is like watching Dr.No. I just feel like this movie is so great, even though it came before anything else. Being a franchise starter is always difficult, because you have to do so much heavy lifting. But Hunt for October is a prime example of how to do it right. The world of this film feels real. It feels like this story really did happen and we are just getting it retold to us. Hunt for October is a perfect spy thriller, and if you haven't seen it before, check it out. And if you have seen it before, I hope I've gotten you excited to revisit this incredible movie.
Welcome to the new world, sir.